Viewers, your channel, your voice has won your trust because of its unimpeachable integrity. We wouldn't be the most watched, the most influential TV channel without your viewership. Times Now's team prides itself in being the most hardworking, the most conscientious, the most uninfluenced. Our only motivation is to put viewer and national interests first, and we have done so every single day of our existence. Unfortunately, our existence, our persistence has won us some enemies who want to discredit our fair name and who are allied with powerful forces to deal a mortal blow to us, to Times Now, to our family. We have gone through a torrid time in fighting the forces of manipulation, avarice, and most importantly, disinformation. Today, another channel that is trying desperately to redeem its tattered reputation is claiming that Times Now has manipulated ratings. It is relying on an ED chart sheet that actually makes no such claim in black and white. The ED report cannot make this claim because the ED knows that it is simply not borne out by any facts. Only those with a malicious intent are trying to attribute motives to the open-ended words of the Enforcement Directorate. The ED, of course, viewers, is a central investigative agency and has insinuated itself into the TRP fixing case brought against certain players in Maharashtra, even though it is primarily concerned with offences related to money laundering. Of course, the TRP fixing case is also being investigated by the Mumbai police, which makes the ED presence that much more questionable. Anyway, viewers, back to the main story and the purpose of this broadcast. Over the next few hours, we at Times Now, who is the we? The view, the we, the you, all of us viewers are the family of Times Now. And today, we are not running away from you. We are right here to tell you that the record has been manipulated, and we will set this record straight. And who am I talking about? There is Navika, Kumar right next to me. As always, viewers, we are the team which always is out there bringing to you the news. We put our credibility on the line. Navika, Kumar, who is the group editor of the network. We have with us the MD and the CEO of the network, Mr. M.K. Anand, who is being slandered today, viewers, for doing what? An honest job. We have Nikunj Garg, the managing editor of Times Now, Mirror Now. He looks after every reporting input that flows into this channel and ensures that nothing tainted goes out on air. I don't need to introduce this family to you, viewers. We are there every day before you, and we are not running away. So anyone who thinks that they can ambush us with some silly little WhatsApp and say, what have you got to say? They better watch out, because today they will have to answer. This team will call out the mischief, the slanderous, patently false propaganda that is being disseminated to malign your channels, your favorite channel's image, by misrepresenting the ED chart sheet and burying crucial facts. Viewers, I'm going to show you. Our video journalist is going to focus on some documents today. Documents that have not been put out. They have been suppressed. Why have they been suppressed? Because, viewers, they will prevent all those who are maligning Times Now from doing what they are doing. They are a check and a balance. We've earned this clean chit that I'm going to show you, viewers. First item we want to show you is our response to BARC on a show cause issued to us on 13 December 2017. Mark, viewers, the date. In its letter, and it's on your screens, and it's in my hand, right here. In its letter, BARC refers to two things: an unusual spike in Times Now ratings, the existence of 3 videos. Times Now replied in detail to the BARC show cause. Here is the excerpt of the letter. We said, first, that the spike in ratings is not abnormal. And I will get you Mr. M.K. Anand's view on this. As far as the spike shown, this is what we have said, and it's written there. As far as the spike shown in ratings on certain days in certain markets is concerned, we've already clarified the reasons for the same in our meetings. Meetings, viewers, we went because they asked us. We presented ourselves. We weren't running away from anything. We went to their office and we told them the following. We told them that most of the purported abnormalities can be explained by the use of landing pages in such markets, and considering that landing pages are the major marketing boost, they cannot really be referred to as abnormal in the real sense. That was the first of our responses. Now, Mr. M.K. Anand, let me ask you this question. You're an industry veteran. You have led many channels to that numero uno spot in your career. I want to first ask you, these abnormal spikes that the BARC was referring to, are they normal in course? Do they happen?
First of all, these are not abnormal at all. If you promote a product, I mean any product for instance, I mean if you were to sell soap and then you have a marketing campaign, during that period the offtake of that soap goes up. I mean that is common knowledge. Everybody who's into any business, I mean even if you're a small business owner or if you're a big FMCG company or a newspaper or a news channel, landing pages is like taking a prized position on the shelf of a shop. So if you put say a toothpaste on the top shelf, it gets picked up more. So in that period we had promoted Times Now, and we continue to sort of use landing pages as an effective marketing tool because it is perfectly legal. And
are we the only ones using it?
It's used by everybody before us and after us, and continues to be used by all broadcasters because it is a perfectly legal manner in which viewership is promoted. It is a way by which more viewers stumble onto the channel, like something, and then they stay there.
Now let me tell you, the Enforcement Directorate has said that we used, in the period when this spike was happening, 18 to 20 landing pages, and Republic was on 10 of them. 10 of them, viewers. It's all in the report. The report is here. So if we were using landing pages and Republic was using landing pages, of course Republic talks about money power constantly, this, that, the other, when they do all of this. Now I want to ask you a more personal question, Mr. Anand, because a certain anchor constantly talks about money power, purchasing power, how that gives an advantage, landing pages are, this, that, the other. When that same individual was working here, was this channel on landing pages from time to time?
We've been using promotions of various natures, whether it is landing pages or marketing or, I mean, it's calling money power out is like saying that, if a company has a lot of money, it pays its editors a higher salary. I mean, we wouldn't be able to pay such an anchor, such top anchors, if we did not have money power. It's business. It's nothing to do with money power. Successful companies are able to corner better resources, and those resources are put in the service of putting better products, because the consumer, the Indian consumer, demands and deserves products of global standard. And when that happens, we should not flinch in putting money into the product. Instead of sort of taking that money back as profits, we have put that money into the product. I mean, what is wrong in that? We are in the service of the consumer.
Viewers, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Those that are today preaching were converted a long time back. They're duplicitous. They lie. Times Now doesn't. We don't hide. We never have. We never will. As I said, viewers, to you in the very beginning of this broadcast, and I'm going to say it again, that conviction comes with honesty. If you have nothing to hide, you will speak with honesty. And that's why you watch us. And I'll come to those numbers also in a short while, viewers. Let's have it out tonight. You and I, all of us, let's have it out. Videos, malicious creation. This was our response. About the videos, we have clarified that we neither have any knowledge nor any involvement in any such unscrupulous activity. In fact, this clearly points to the involvement of some malicious party entity who is trying to spoil our reputation. In the past, we have been the victim of reduced channel share and thinking that on-ground panel tampering by certain players may be the reason of the same. Have shared our concerns with your agency, where the ratings have shown abnormality, unprecedented spikes from time to time, unquote. What are you trying to say here, Mr. Anand?
See, I think, Rahul, we all know the period of 2017 when a certain new channel was launched, and with all, due respect, with a lot of fanfare and a lot of earnest effort, I'm sure. But when that channel probably thought that it could walk all over the competition, including us, and when the first week and the second week and the third week passed, and the realization dawned that things were not as easy, I think there was, there was some desperate measures or desperate attempts, and this is our feeling at that stage, because we started realizing that on the ground, there was, reports of multiple LCNs, which is an illegal activity which was reported. In fact, at that stage, if you remember, it was taken up by the News Broadcasters Association and then by India Today group. It was sort of taken in the Delhi High Court, and it was sort of blocked. And even after that, we saw that in the English news space, there was unusual activity which we time and again picked up with the then BARC management, and we were sort of not really able to get satisfactory response from there, and we felt that there was something really not right. And that's the time when we started talking to media. If you remember, we started talking to a media house, and there were a series of articles that started coming out, and that is when there was a little bit of a consternation and irritation, I would say, in the BARC then management, and that is when this whole thing started coming up, that, you know what, guys, you are doing panel tampering. And then we sort of challenged them, and then they had the whatever audacity, I would say, to sort of send us a show cause notice with a made up, got up video, which we completely and totally refused, and completely sort of we denied that we had sort of anything to do with it.
So this was an attempt to blackmail.
It was a complete and direct attempt to blackmail, to keep us quiet.
This is a very important point. I want to bring in Navika Kumar. Navika Kumar, we used to get into these so-called meetings over TRP when the data would come. Today, I want to say, viewers, the honest truth to you. The news are number at 9. The show is number 1. It is the number 1 show in 1 million plus, 22 plus bracket. That is the only bracket that the industry looks at. If you look at the cumulative average of the last, 8, 9, 7 weeks, it is the number 1 show. This is after BARC supposedly told us that it had cleaned up all the irregularities, all the mess, and of course the INB minister asked BARC to release the data. Since then, viewers, it's been. Before that, Navika, I want you to tell the viewer, you were perplexed, you used to tear your hair out, because one week you were up there, the next week you were down, and you said, ye kya ho raha hai?
Well, I just want to focus, Rahul, on the dates of the questions that were given to us by the BARC.
Yeah.
2017.
Yes.
Is it true, MK, that spikes happened only in 2017 when we were being asked questions? I just want to ask you, have spikes never happened before, when a certain individual who today is screaming from the pulpit, did spikes never happen in his tenure as the major domo on this channel?
I think TRPs are, are like ECG, are like statistics. So I think spikes are a part of it, and it over a period of time gets averaged, and that is the reason advertisers buy 13-week average. Nobody buys a weekly rating, and spikes are the way people. Everybody doesn't watch everything every day. So I mean, somebody watches something for that day, there is a sort of a spike that comes up. But I think Navika, when you spoke about the dates, I think Rahul, we have not gone beyond just this whole point about spikes and landing pages, etc. My question is, where in the ED report has Times Now been implicated? Just because Times Now's name has been taken in the report for reference to certain Vigilance Committee show cause notice does not mean that investigation led to anything. First of all, there's a matter of 2017.
I will come to, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll come to it. Let's break this down one by one. There's a lot more. So in this response, viewers, as I said, which is in my hand right now, we go on. First we said that the videos are malicious creation. Then we said we request the details about these videos. In our reply, dated 29/11/2017, that is the 29th of November 2017, we said we have already clarified our position and stand on this issue in a very clear manner. And we had requested for details about the videos to initiate necessary action from our side to find out the parties involved. We reiterate that these videos are highly sensitive and confidential in nature, and we expect you to maintain a high amount of caution to maintain the confidentiality of the same under any and all circumstances. We also went on to say that it's a malicious act of certain organizations and broadcasters, as MK was just telling you. We wish to inform you, we told BARC, that we have strong reasons to believe that this is nothing but a motivated and malicious act of certain organizations, broadcasters, to tarnish the image of our brand channel Times Now at the cost of repetition. We once again confirm that Times Network and its management have not committed any act which is covered in your show cause notice and will never do so now or in the future. We begged BARC. We begged them, engage specialists or go to the police. As informed you earlier, we said to BARC, we are ready to support BARC in any manner that you feel practical, even financially, to engage specialists. If you don't have the money, we'll contribute. Or to go to the appropriate authorities, in which case is the police, of course, to investigate this matter so that we can reach to a step closer to end this malice rampantly spreading in our industry, which will ultimately dilute the importance of television ratings and BARC. We are ready to stand with BARC in all such initiatives to fight and deal with this. Would a person guilty want to go and be a part of a probe onto themselves? Will we commit resources to probe us so that we are crucified? It defies logic, MK. Yes.
No, and that's not important. We said we'll do it, and BARC accepted. BARC accepted our response, MK, and that is the clear letter that was sent to us on the 13th of December 2017. And BARC said, in view of the explanation provided by you in the captioned interim reply and the letter dated December 13, 2017, as well as the clarification provided by your representatives about the abnormal increase in viewership in the raw data during the course of meetings conducted, we have decided not to initiate any action against you under the show cause notice.
On our screens.
The point is the constitution of BARC.
Let me just read, letter, chapter and verse. Let me read this chapter. It's on our screens. BARC responded on December 26th, issuing a clean chit without prejudice to Times Now. Viewers, this is the same BARC that was headed by a CEO who is known to have shared an unhealthy relationship with the proprietor of a news channel, Republic TV. Remember, viewers, several dubious WhatsApp chats and emails between Goswami and Dasgupta point to a relationship that raises concerns about clear conflict of interest. Anyway, more on that in just a few moments. I will take you through those WhatsApps, viewers. In case you've forgotten, your jaw will drop to the floor. But now, let's look back at the BARC's clean chit to Times Now. It says, Navika, we are in receipt of the caption letter. Nothing stated in the letter shall be deemed to have been admitted by BARC for want of specific traverse denial. Very clearly.
Absolutely.
Very clearly said,
And this was
without
the BARC
prejudice to the above. Taken note of the contents of the caption letter, our letter dated December 13, which I just read out to you, 2017, in view of the explanation provided by you in the captioned interim reply, and the letter dated December 13, 2017. 3 replies we gave them, as well as the clarification provided by your representatives in respect of the abnormal increase in viewership raw data of the channel during the course of the meetings conducted on November 28, 2017, December 6, 2017. We have decided to not initiate any action against you under the show cause notice. What does that say?
I want to ask you, who was running BARC at that time, MK Anand?
BARC was being run by Partho Das Gupta, and this entire conversations were between Partho Das Gupta and our team, our research team, and they had asked us questions, we had given them replies, and clearly and finally we had very clearly said that this is not enough. You giving us a clean chit is not enough. We want you to go to the police. So at that they said, no, we don't want to go to the police. In fact, then I said, maybe if you want to, put a private investigator on this, because you guys say that there is a video. So obviously that if there is a video, then that video, I'm sure there are forensic methods to sort of check out whether that video is false or what, or wherever you got that video from, who are those people, who actually came. That was not done. We have in fact, in writing, we have given it to them saying that we stand by you for this. That has not come in. But beyond that, Rahul, my question is,
yes,
how is it that a simple paragraph in the ED note saying this has been used by our competitor to slander us for almost, I think, 2 or 3 hours without showing this? Because this also exists.
Let's ask those big questions.
And not just that,
has been closed, has not been talked.
Let me also read out the part of this entire process where what the ED says. Now, one part of the ED document is picked up by our competitor and spoken about for 3 hours.
No, he's not a competitor, he's a slanderer. Let's be very clear. We have no competition, viewers. No fair competition in this business. That's because of your trust. This man is a slanderer. I'm sorry I'm saying it. You can come and sue me.
Yeah, he's already sued me for something which I said in the context of the TRP scam. Well, I'm ready, sitting here, waiting, sue me again. And I'll tell you this excerpt of the Enforcement Directorate's report. And what does this report say? It clearly says, BARC has also reported that they had received several complaints regarding certain households where there was a video that was circulated and a vigilance team of the BARC came in. BARC was requested to provide the said video through mails. However, the same has not been provided yet. Further investigation in this matter is under progress. Now, if you know, Nikunj, let me bring you in. If you know, no investigation agency ever closes the door on further investigations. But if BARC under Partho Das Gupta had the videos and wanted to show that Times Now was doing some chori, for those who do not understand all the complicated language in legal parlance, if we were doing chori, why did BARC not give that video to the Enforcement Directorate?
Well, Navika, 2 things here. Anand, of course, is an industry veteran, and his connection is, cross-connected at various points in time, so he doesn't want to talk about this gentleman, Partho Das Gupta. I must say a few things for the consumption of viewers. They must know this gentleman was arrested. He was arrested by a law enforcement agency. He spent a considerable amount of time behind the bars. The matter for his bail went up till Mumbai High Court. Mumbai High Court, even at that point in time, when the injunctions were being sought against the probe, very categorically said that we have absolutely no commentary on the probe. There is a bona fide investigation that the Mumbai police has launched. There are enough incriminating material brought on record by them. Mr. Goswami, the slanderer, may have a particular fight with the then Commissioner of Police, of which we are not a party to. We have absolutely nothing to do with it. He can have an axe to grind with any individual. But the Bombay High Court was convinced that there was a bona fide case, And after much consternation, this individual, after spending months in jail, under due process of law, was granted bail. He continues to remain on bail. That case is very much alive. The man has not been given a clean chit. So this was the man managing BARC at that point of time. According to many neutral observers, not only because of the WhatsApp chats that came out, Mr. Partho Das Gupta, industry neutral observers, Mr. Partho Das Gupta actually shared a very unhealthy relationship with Mr. Goswami, the slanderer, because as the regulator of the industry, he should not have shown, or should not have been at least seen to have shown, any kind of undue interest in the launch of a product and the kind of meetings that he had with the management of that product for a very long period of time.
Let me ask you, Navika,
now,
because this
one
is
small thing, I just need to finish, Rahul, one small thing. The Enforcement Directorate's probe in this entire matter, and I am saying this as somebody who has covered Enforcement Directorate when it acquired more teeth in 2008. I covered it when it had no teeth in 2005, through the amendments to PMLA in 2008, in 2016, which Mr. Modi's government gave, and then the UP. I've covered it through the entire era of the two decades.
Yes.
Day in and day out, I have gone to their previous headquarters at Jamnagar House. And I say this with great amount of responsibility, that Enforcement Directorate's probe, according to many neutral observers, in this matter is actually very tenuous, because neither has a court ordered this probe, nor has the fact of money laundering in this particular case been proven ever beyond doubt. So the predicate offense of this, now here comes the beauty, the predicate offense for the Enforcement Directorate's probe remains the same FIR of the Mumbai police. There is no other ground. The same FIR of the Mumbai police that sent Mr. Partho Das Gupta to jail, and the Mumbai High Court, that investigation after very long deliberation was held to be bona fide. So please understand the basis of this entire investigation.
That's very strange. Navika, I want to ask you this question, and it's an important one in the context that we are talking about. You know about the Election Commission. You know that it is the final arbiter on the election process. Now imagine if the president of all political parties started calling up the election commissioner, and election commissioner, yaar jara phone karke meri naukri lagwa de, mera ye kar de, mera wo kar de. How would that go down?
They would all be up in arms. All political parties would be up in arms. And why should we talk about example? We on this channel have done the story of an election commissioner who was sitting in the office of election commission and was taking MP lad funds for his own NGO, and we called it the conflict of interest by a former election commissioner, and that was the story with which we launched this channel Times Now.
So why am I drawing this analogy?
Because there is a conflict of interest.
Because every week on Thursday at 11 o'clock, our election commissioner in some ways is the BARC CEO. He sits in a room with his team and he puts a number after studying the data to each channel. What is this number? This is the collective votes, viewers, that you give to that channel, because in some homes which are part of the measurement panel, there are something called barometers. Those barometers are given to you. You put your preference down by pressing a number on the remote. If you want to watch Times Now for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 100 minutes, it all gets recorded and it becomes viewership. It is your vote for our channel. Now viewers, if one of the channel chiefs, editors, proprietors starts calling the head of the election commission, which is the BARC head for us,
and exchanging WhatsApps
about meri naukri karwa de, mera kuch ka mere ko number bada de, mere ko ye kar de, mere ko wo kar de. How does that go down? And why didn't the ED investigate these?
Absolutely, Rahul. As I said,
you're saying the FIR was the same.
Yes, and as I said, you know, that the probe itself is tenuous. I'm not wanting to use any strong adjectives here. The fact remains, Enforcement Directorate had a job. They had done their job. The fact of the matter is also this, that as I said, the basis of this probe is the same Mumbai police FIR on which Mr. Partho Das Gupta was jailed, and the case still continues.
For taking bribes, viewers.
So how do you delineate the two?
From whom?
No,
from whom?
And
from
over and above this, I want to ask you, if this case was filed by the Mumbai police, and today some people are screaming from rooftops that Mumbai police means a certain police commissioner. I want to ask, why did the government in New Delhi scrap the entire TRP measurement system?
Yes.
Why? For 15 months there was no TRP measurement because the government knew that there was something wrong. And if the government knew that something wrong was happening behind the scenes, who was the person who was doing that? And for that, I want to know, Rahul.
Yes.
A lot can be found out. I don't know if that means money laundering, but the WhatsApp chats give you the backdrop of what kind of conversations were happening.
Yes, let's get to Pranesh in just 30 seconds. Viewers, the clean chit, I just want to put these questions out to you for you to start thinking about them. The clean chit that BARC gave. Why did BARC give a clean chit to Times Now if it was guilty of TRP fixing by buying viewers? It's a big offense. Why did BARC categorically rule out initiating action against Times Now? Would Times Now have offered to fund a probe against itself had we been guilty? Why didn't BARC take up Times Now offer to pay for the services of a specialist to investigate the videos?
Or go to the police.
Or go to the police. If BARC was not convinced by a response, why didn't it investigate the videos? If the videos were definitive proof of malfeasance, why didn't BARC punish Times Now? Why didn't BARC register a case against appropriate authorities
why
suggested
didn't
by
BARC
Times Now?
give those videos to the Enforcement Directorate? Because the Enforcement Directorate asked for those videos.
So then,
why did BARC not give? Why did BARC not give those videos? Because they were scared of the forensic analysis of that
maybe
video?
this is the reason. Did BARC not investigate because videos were fabricated and maliciously designed to frame Times Now, and the truth would have come out when the ED was aware of the BARC clean chit to Times Now? Why didn't it mention it in its
then
charge
BARC management has destroyed the video. You never know.
Why? We don't know. Why has the channel that is selectively highlighting facts not conducted due diligence to ascertain what action BARC took? Is the channel maligning Times Now by not showing the BARC clean chit to the public?
Yeah, where is this?
Where is this? Where is your clean chit? Why aren't you putting it out? Why would a CEO of BARC, known to be close to the proprietor of Republic TV, give Times Now a clean chit?
And I want to just say this to our viewers. Viewers, you've been with us for 17 years. Some of you may have joined later, but we've been here bringing to you the news day after day after day for 17 years. When a certain individual was here, and after that individual decided to go a different way. We have been here. But I can tell you, our philosophy, our ethics have never changed, because truth has one version, and that version has always been on Times Now, and that is the version we swear by. The truth cannot be described by those who are out on bail. Remember that, viewers.
Now, just for the record, the entire scandal has arisen because of an inexplicable and very suspicious familiarity between Arnab Goswami and Partho Dasgupta, which is born out of a series of exchanges, viewers. Why would the head of a channel and the head of a ratings agency be on such familiar terms? Isn't this by itself a conflict of interest, and why isn't the ED looking into it? Let's go across to Pranesh, Kumar, Roy. Pranesh, let's have a look at some of these, I don't know what to call it, pillow talk between Partho and Arnab Goswami. What are these conversations? Let's have a look. And also, not just Arnab Goswami, viewers, his CEO of that time, Vikas Khanchandani, the COO of BARC,
number 2,
Romil Ramagadia, who was the number 2, who used to come to our office, viewers, because we would ask him about the anomalies in the data and he would lie to our face.
All people who've been in jail at some point. Yes. Romil Ramagadia as well.
Yeah.
Let's go back. During the course of 2019, how in a period of just 2 or 3 months, all of them quit? Suddenly.
And of course, the biggest question that Navika has raised, why were the ratings suspended by the government? Viewers, think about it. Let's go straight across to Pranesh.
Let's pull out the chats, Rahul. There was a cabal.
Same government.
Yes.
Same government.
Let's have a look.
There was a cabal that was indulging in cheating, and there was clear collusion and conflict of interest. And if you see the chats in detail, you will be shocked beyond belief the election commission example that you were talking about, discussing, even that is put to shame. Look at the exchange. Who are these two individuals? Look, let's focus on the date here. 2019, August 13, the Arnab Partho Nexus chats not probed by ED. Why? We don't know. Vikas Kanchandani, CEO Republic Media Network, and he is writing to Romil, the number 2 in BARC. Sir, number 1 करवा दीजिए. वैष्णो देवी जाना है. Every day at work in Times Now, we break our backs to break stories to earn the trust of the viewer. And look what's going on here between the number 2 of BARC.
Let's look at the second one.
Here's the other exchange. Here are the two individuals. Romil Ramagaria, former BARC CEO. TN, not Tamil Nadu. TN is Times Now. TN is down since we are controlling their Delhi landing number.
Excerpt of WhatsApp chats mentioned in Mumbai police charge sheet. Chats of ex-BARC CEO Romil Ramgadia and ex-BARC CEO
भैया
Partho
नंबर 1
Das
करा दे.
Gupta.
माता वैष्णो देवी के दर्शन करने हैं. We only pray for our numbers and our trust of viewers with God, but there is another God for this company, and that God used to sit in the BARC office, the number 2 of BARC.
And
just
shocking.
look at this.
Rahul, let us clarify to our viewers that these are the chats that have been used in the charge sheet of Mumbai Police as a relied upon document.
Yeah, this is electronic evidence.
Yes, quite clearly they have done their forensics. Quite clearly they have appended the forensics report. Quite clearly this recovered material has been used as a relied upon document.
Let's look at instance 3.
I am sure there will be more charge sheets by ED and WhatsApp. These WhatsApp will come into that. Right?
ED charge sheets. You know what their conviction rate is?
No, ED charge sheet will...
It's less than 1%. So don't go by the ED, Viewers, you know that. I have questioned the ED's efficacy many times on this channel, in front of you. Anyhow, don't want to get into all of that right now.
Yeah.
Let's look at August 29.
The number...
Now this is August 29, 2017.
That's
so
right.
2019, 2017. Look at the length, viewers, of this cozy conversation that goes on. And what is the interest of Partho and Ramil Ramgadia in Republic? उनको Republic की क्यों लगी रहती है इतनी? 50 और channels हैं. मगर जी Republic पे focus. Let's look at that. Let's look at it.
Partho Das Gupta, he says the numbers look okay na? And let's see the response. Romil says, yes, Times Now Republic gap has widened. Celebrating. They are celebrating.
Yes.
The BARC chief is celebrating.
जितवा दिया आज तो. आपने हमें जिताया, इन्होंने Republic को जिताया. ये तो फरेब होता है, sir. Fरेब.
So if a certain channel was getting numbers, certainly wasn't on the strength of the journalism that they claim to have done.
Now comes the clincher, viewers. Instance 4, Partho Das Gupta, former BARC CEO. Mail from ex-BARC CEO Partho Das Gupta to Romil Ramgadia, former BARC COO. What does it say? I have put Times Now on all days barring Tuesday. This should bring it below Republic TV. Sir, thank you. Hanuman Bhakt hain. आपने हमारे को थोड़ा Tuesday को तो आपने हमारे को थोड़ा.
This is ridiculous. It's not a matter of a joke. I mean, this was being done continuously by the BARC CEO. It's like the policeman, the police chief is the dacoit, and you're going to the same police station and he's bouncing you off again and again and again. Finally, he comes and puts a case on you, and even that case he's not able to prove, and then he backtracks. That's what has happened.
Next.
वो हिंदी में कहावत है. These days I'm on Times Now Navbharat. सैया भये कोतवाल अब डर काहे का.
Correct.
अब डर काहे का.
Now, mail from Rushabh Mehta, BARC employee, to Romil Ramgadia, former BARC CEO, is the next one, viewers. Look at this. As required.
As required. Times Now numbers were changed while Republic is kept the same. Republic was kept the same.
Republic is number 1 at all India level. Who required by whom? By God. By whom? By whom? Who is this required? Who is making these requirements?
I know we are reliving this nightmare
it is
again.
traumatic. It is traumatic.
And during this time, ladies and gentlemen, we worked hard. We worked hard because we were not established anchors. We were just journalists doing our job. And a journalist with a lot of sincerity, trying to keep a team together, trying to work day and night so that we could bring to you news that was good, that was something that you were used to, that was something that you liked. In fact, with a little bit of change, so that what you didn't like could also be addressed. We were working 24 hours a day, a team of 320 people, sitting here night and day only because we had the courage of conviction that yes, we can do it. And we did it day after day after day. Now, and we are being rewarded with these kind of messages which say, "Bhai, ek din daba diya, ek din usko utha diya." We had no recourse to these methods of getting TRP.
Navika, I'll tell you something. I've run television companies for a long time. Honestly, I don't understand what was this, crying need for him to sort of somehow be ahead of times now, because ratings is not exactly what advertisers buy you for. Advertisers buy you for your integrity, your brand, and a lot of other things.
And your
the real problem, Navika, was, you know what, because this man thought that he is number one and everybody else in Times Now were just his servants and slaves, and he was absolutely shocked that when he came with the channel, his minions, his so-called slaves and servants, put out a product out there which was sort of better than him. And that really is the reason it really hurt. And that really is the reason, because there is no reason to sort of go to this level to run a business. This is not business. This is really not business.
We were children of a lesser God.
Exactly.
We were children of a lesser God. The God in this case being BARC and Partho Das Gupta, because Mata Devi ke darshan chahiye the.
Because Anand, it's also about brazenness and impunity. When you think that you control all the levers of power, like in this case the BARC CEO, you think you can get away with anything. And when you have that feeling that you can get away with anything, then these kind of things happen. Because you just lose that sense of balance and proportion as to where to draw that line.
You're talking about balance and proportion. Let me talk about balance and proportion, viewers. On a national security issue, this is what Mr. Goswami was telling Partho. This is what he said. Sir, 20 minutes ahead on the biggest terrorist attack of the year in Kashmir. Only channel with a ground presence. Partho Das Gupta replies, Modi happened yesterday, ? Arnab says, have planned some build-up thing after we spoke. Idea to gain massive spike. So used his speech yesterday and pushed it by a bit. This attack we have won like crazy. So he's signaling. He's dog whistling.
The so-called nationalist channel, this attack we won like crazy.
We are very happy that an attack has happened so that TRP can zoom through the roof. Let's show those. Let's show those WhatsApp chats. Here they are in my hand, viewers.
That too leading up to a conclusion that TRPs will be spiked because of that.
Here Partho Das Gupta is asking for a meeting and an appointment, a job in the PMO. And Mr. Goswami is saying, "Main karwa deta hu, no problems." Now, Navika, the head of a ratings agency asking for a job from PMO, the head of a channel
via Mr.
Slanderer.
Slanderer.
Slanderer, and Mr. Slanderer is saying, "Karwa dunga, I'll get your appointment, etc." This is clear, quid pro quo, conflict of interest. I don't know what to call it.
No, and then you sit and you tell and give a lecture to the world about truth. About truth. Hello, if this isn't a cozy club, then what is? And you're talking about Lutyens, and you're talking about an ecosystem, you're talking about ordinary beginnings. Well, we are all people with ordinary beginnings.
This is nothing
we worked our way up.
Yeah.
I have spent 30 years in journalism to get to where I am. I didn't expect instant coffee like the instant ratings being desired by a certain channel through, of course, the agenda on the WhatsApp chats that leaves nothing to the imagination. I mean, it's clear as daylight. If you ever have any other thoughts about this, think again, because these are exchanges between him and the BARC CEO at that time, a man who's been to jail, a man who's out on bail, and this is the conversation, a man who he literally refers to as God. अरे भाई हमारा भगवान तो ऊपर ही है, आपने जमीन पे कितने भगवान ढूंढ लिए, ये तो बताइए दुनिया को.
Let me tell you, there is another conversation. Please focus on this. This and next BARC board meeting is crucial, Arnab. This is Partho Das Gupta. You have too many enemies, but I will be your friend, whichever role I am in. I will be your friend.
Completely discredited man who left in disgrace and brought disgrace to the metering system.
Yeah.
To the metering system.
And even the government had to stop it.
Of course.
It was so disgraceful that the government had to stop it. And the government must have believed in what Mr. Das Gupta had done to stop the TRP rating system and put it on hold for 15 long months. And if that is true for the government to rely on, then what are we talking about?
And Navika, one small point I would again like to add here. At that point in time, there was a dispensation which was a non-BJP dispensation at the state level. And many people say that the police is controlled by the state governments, etc. Despite that, the government of India, in its wisdom, believed that entire investigation, suspended the TRP rating matrix for 15 long months. Quite clearly, they sense that the investigation is on the right track. The loopholes that the investigation is pointing out towards are really exist in the system, needs to be plugged. And the acts of omission and commission of this discredited, disgraced man as the CEO of the BARC and his dear friend, proprietor of Republic TV, are quite clearly something that need a fair and thorough probe.
Now there is a conversation about the PMO. For PMO is the demand for a job noted. Any clue on what's happening? Meeting MIB secretary at 4. This is Partho speaking to Arnab. Arnab says, I have shared those points yesterday with PMO. Ask Partha or minister. Goswami says, not with the secretary Q. Minister then, no, PMO. Goswami then says, please let me know what he says. Partho says, okay. And he calls the then INB minister a useless guy. Who was the INB minister back then? Prakash Javadekar?
Senior
Mr. Javadekar.
Mr. Prakash Javadekar.
Wants to
who also lost his job, by the way.
And Arnab says he should be leaving MIB soon. Concrete hai. So viewers, I think the ED needs to develop a thick spine, and they need to call these two great gentlemen and ask them why they were having these private conversations and what exactly was going on. Does the ED have a spine? That's the fundamental question. I'm sorry I'm asking these questions today with such honesty and bluntness, because viewers, when you're honest, you can. When you're not compromised, you can.
Well, Rahul, the fact is that this broadcast is not about questioning ED's investigations so much.
It should be. But they should have put this letter, this clean chit into their report.
But the fact remains that if that investigation or portions of that investigation are being misused by a certain individual, then it is incumbent on the Enforcement Directorate to do either an all-encompassing probe or clarify on those aspects which are being tom-tommed for selective use.
Now I want to show you, viewers, all this meddling, the cost and the price of this meddling. MK Anand, let me come back to you. All this meddling meant that Times Now was pushed to number 2 in the most important rating metrics and genres while the manipulation was going on. After the BARC resumed ratings following the cleanup, Times Now has been number 1 throughout in the most influential rating TGs. Let's put that data right there behind us on the plasma. If very quickly, Pranesh, you can talk this through. That's the graph, viewers. That's the graph. Let's put those numbers out.
Here it is, all the channels, their names right at the top, the real TRP fact, which is not being put by one channel. But apart from these 3 notes that we've put out on Times Now, we'll also be uploading these 3 on social media handles and also on our website very, very soon, right after the broadcast. Let's look at this. Here you have the number, the week that we are talking about, 32 to 39.
So this is
2020.
This was before the data was stopped, right? 20. We are talking about 2020, the data then. You can see, viewers, Times Now is number 2. And after the data, the clean data is revealed, Times Now is at 32% there.
This sums it up, Rahul.
Republic is behind. Just in one frame, let's put those two pie charts together and let's talk about before the freeze. MK, can you just, yeah, that's it, there it is. Before the freeze and after the freeze. What does this tell you?
No, obviously, there has been the BARC system was, spoiled, I would say, by that particular dispensation, and good sense prevailed. The industry got to know, as the senior people in the industry, the BARC board, the Indian, the IBF and NBA, etc., got together, and when one by one these things got peeled out is when first of all Partho moved out, and then after that when the new dispensation got in, they did their own probes, and then after that Romil and gang went in 2020. And it was being done silently, obviously, because it is the agency was also concerned that the currency of the agency should not be spoiled, because it sort of is at the center of multi-billion-dollar advertising decision made, and therefore at some level you did not want to throw the baby with the bathwater. And I would say pragmatically that was the right thing to do at that stage. However, when these things came out, like Navika said, the industry body NBA got together and decided to sort of ask MIB to intervene and ask for these ratings to be suspended till the processes and all the mechanisms and people concerned were above board. And when it came out in March 2022, right now, last 5 months back, 6 months back, the clean data shows what the truth was always, and which was suppressed for 5 long years. Ever since Mr. Das Gupta and gang were managing this data, massaging this data, they were getting the data into the central data control room, suppressing Times Now and putting another channel on top. We have been always number 2, and suddenly, without any, suddenly something has changed. What has changed? Changed that the process has become clean, and the sun has risen. That's all.
Fingers crossed, because things can still change.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
It is easy to sort of call rating agencies and banks and central agencies names, but one should obviously sort of depend on these people, and it is only as good as the people who manage it. I think the current lot of people are really up there, and I'm pretty confident that the processes are being followed. And obviously everything can be improved, and it will be improved, but it obviously is nowhere near the kind of situation that it was in 2017 to 19.
No one is having pillow talk. Now, as we conclude this, a few takeaways for you to remember, viewers. BARC run by Partho Das Gupta. Yes, even Partho Das Gupta cleared Times Now of all accusations and charges. Second takeaway, the videos that were circulated were tampered and made by our competitors with an intent to blackmail and trap Times Now. This is what it appears like. That's the big question. None of the videos were found to be genuine or authentic, and therefore the investigation against Times Now was closed. In writing. That's the letter we've been showing you, viewers.
In writing by the ED as well, because the ED says the videos were never supplied to them.
Absolutely. Republic TV is deliberately and selectively cherry-picking quotes from the ED report to malign Times Now and deflect attention from its own self. Fifth, but it must be remembered, the Mumbai police is still investigating Republic TV in connection with the TRP fixing case. Lastly, Partho Das Gupta and his impugned team are still under investigation by the Mumbai police. These are the 6 takeaways. Please internalize, viewers. Remember these, and let no one stand between us. You and Times Now, you, Navika, MK, Nikunj, and the entire Times Now family. Don't let anyone stand between us.
And between us and you, and the kind of falsities that are being peddled, because there should be no wall between us and you, and there should be no wall between all of us and the truth. So the truth is out there for you to see and make up your mind. We leave it at that.